Welcome to Navigating the Customer Experience. Want to improve your organization's customer service? Looking for insider tips to knock your customer socks off? Then you're in the right place. Here's your host, Yannick Grant.
Welcome to Navigating the Customer Experience. On today's episode, we have with us a very special guest, and his name is John Formica. John, the ex-Disney guy, is a highly sought-after, internationally known speaker and author of the top-selling book, Making the Customer Experience Magical Now: How to Succeed in Business and Beat Out Your Competition Today. John has appeared on the NBC Morning Show, ABC, CBS, Fox, Univision, numerous business journals, and recently featured in the Virgin Atlantic In-Flight magazine after completing 5 successful speaking tours in Australia and being named Australia's best customer experience coach. John has inspired audiences with over 3,500 keynotes and seminars throughout the United States and all across the globe. Today, John is the leading authority in the service industry, small business growth, and team culture environments. He has successfully coached hundreds of small businesses, cities, tourism communities, healthcare professionals, universities, schools, and teams to build customer loyalty for life, attract and keep more customers, and create whistle while you work team environments. So get ready for a magical experience. And let's give our John Formica a wonderful welcome. Welcome, John.
Oh, great. Thank you very much, Unique. So glad to be in front of your audience and pumping them up today about creating a great magical experience. Thank you.
Awesome. Great. So before we get into the meat of the podcast, we always like to ask our guests if they could share with us a little bit about their background. How did you end up in this world of magic?
Well, I spent my entire career in the service industries. I managed hotels and resort properties and even assisted living communities, and truly believed in that service mentality of really taking care of people. And in the hospitality field, obviously that's what you do, right? You take care of the guests and treat them just like their family. And so I did that for many, many years with some pretty big companies. And then I got a call from the Disney company to help the Disney organization during their huge expansion in the resort division. And it was a dream come true because there's no better company, I think, as far as hospitality and what they offer. And so when I got to Disney, we had 4 hotels and a campground. But there were 16 brand new hotels on the drawing board. And my role was to open up each hotel, hire the staff, develop the staff, train the staff, but more importantly, create a Disney resort experience that would differentiate Disney hotels from everybody else. And I absolutely loved it because what Disney focuses on, we all know, is they provide all of us an incredible experience. So just imagine in any business, regardless of what it is, even if it's a nonprofit organization, could you imagine if you could go beyond just providing service and create an experience that is memorable, that people will talk about, that people become loyal to in any manner? How magical could that be? And that's what Disney does. And I get the honor of traveling around the world, sharing Disney strategies, and so that any business can create that same Disney-like culture and incredible, magical customer experience.
Amazing, amazing. So you're doing things that people would want to be doing on a regular basis, and you're having fun while doing it, and you're also creating value in people's lives. Yeah?
I'm like you. We're servers. We just want to serve people and do whatever we can to help them. And in my world, it's really the helping them as leaders, help them as teams, help them in their business. Bottom result of all what you and I are changing people's lives, and what noble cause. There's not a better noble cause than that.
Very true. Now, I was lucky enough to purchase your book, John, when you were here a couple of weeks ago for our National Customer Service Week conference, which was amazing. And in the book, you talk about the Disney philosophy of people management. Could you share with us a little bit about philosophy and purpose?
Sure. everybody has a product or service, and we all, do our best to provide a very good product or service. But Walt Disney was an incredible person, an incredible leader, philosophy, and he created by people, and that you could build and create and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it takes people to make the dream come true. And we know that in any business, even in today's high-tech world, where technology is really taking the place of many people, we're all in a people business. And we will remember, consumers will remember people over product or service. And so we have to make sure we focus on the success and training and developing and motivating of people. And one of the things that Disney does is Walt Disney created an incredible purpose statement. And a purpose statement is not a mission statement, because a mission statement is geared towards the company or organization of what they're trying to accomplish. But Disney's purpose statement is not what, where, how, when, or who you're going to do it to. It's the big purpose statement of why. Why do it? And if you think about it, we all should be doing things because we want to, not because we have to. And if you can create a culture around an organization where people believe in the purpose and they do it because their heart's in it, we all know that they'll do a better job. And so Disney focuses on that purpose. And I share in my seminars and my keynotes that we really have to boil down to and make sure people know why. And once we do, now we have a better understanding and vision to where we want to accomplish.
Amazing. So the why is very important to the delivery of the service and the people, so that they can know why they're doing what they're doing. And so I want you to share with us, what is Disney's purpose statement?
Yeah, it's really simple. Your audience is going to be like, wow, that's it. That's it. It's to make people happy. And you think about it, when I ask that question during my programs, I'll ask, what do you think Disney's purpose is? And I'll hear people say, create memories, entertainment, provide quality. Heck, some people even told me to make money, right? Mm-hmm. And all those things are great purposes, but they are the result of making people happy. Because once Disney stops making people happy, and you and I are not going to go there, we're not going to buy their products and services. And they will not exist. So the focus is to make people happy. Let me give you an example of what I mean. It's not a marketing statement. It's not something that you'd find on a commercial or a sign in the park that says, we make people happy. It's for the internal customer. In other words, the people that work there, so they truly understand why. And I give you a great example. Before you even fill out an application at Disney to work there, no matter whether you are applying for a job as a manager or a bus driver or a housekeeper or somebody to operate the rides or sell tickets or work in the food and beverage, it doesn't make a difference. You watch a video, and in the video, they talk about that if you are lucky enough to work for the organization, the reason why we're going to hire you is to make people happy, and that you're going to work when other people play. And then they will talk about that you're going to work weekends and you're going to work holidays, and it's not going to be easy what you're doing. And they talk about the structure and some of the high grooming guidelines that they have, the strict guidelines. And they're not trying to scare anybody to apply. What they're trying to make sure you understand that if you want to work here, you have to believe in it. Because Disney doesn't hire anybody that needs a job. They hire people that believe in what Disney believes in. And you think about it. If we believe in it, our heart's in it. Mm-hmm. And we'll do it because we want to, not because we have to.
True. Very true.
Many organizations don't focus so much on that. And so, like you said, then the employee does what they're told and nothing more. They do it 9 to 5, but they won't do it 5 minutes after 5 because they don't understand the why. And all the things that we will do, the extra things, we'll just do what we do or what we're supposed to do, but we won't go extra. We do the extra when our heart's in it.
Mm-hmm. So in the book, it also says that purpose is more important than the job. And while you're doing your job, you're always having your radar up, looking for ways to make people happy. For example, taking a picture of a family in front of the castle. Now, in a regular organization, let's say, for example, a supermarket, you pack bags, you pack the grocery bags for the customers, or you work at a automotive company that sells cars. So you're a sales rep. If your purpose statement is clearly going to be different from Disney, but will you also apply that same technique, with the purpose being more important than the job?
Yes. I'll give you a perfect example from an auto service repair. Many of them are my clients, and many of them are mom pa type establishments. So I'm trying to help them to build that culture. And if you ask them what their purpose is to fix their car, or make sure their car is running properly, or make sure all the maintenance is done, and make sure they use quality parts, and make sure all those things. And that's not their purpose. That's their job. That's what they do. But in reality, if we boil down to what's the purpose of an auto service repair shop? And in reality, it's to give me, the consumer, a peace of mind, knowing that my vehicle is safe on the road. It's going to be in working order. It's going to be reliable when I have to get up to go to work in the morning, or that my kids, their cars are safe. My wife's car is safe. It's that peace of mind I'm getting. So when you think about, you have to do the job, you have to mechanically do all those things correctly. But when I say to myself, wait a minute, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to double check to make sure those bolts are tightened, because I know I want my client to have a peace of mind knowing that we did the right job, and we didn't just do it halfway. We didn't just do a quick job to go in, get this thing turned around, make money, and move on to the next one. I want to give them a peace of mind so when they drive off after getting their car serviced, that they feel good. So every decision is based on, will that give someone a peace of mind? And that's the decisions that we make based on that. And it's the same thing of a grocery store. Again, maybe not peace of mind, of course, but it's providing a great experience, because they can go anywhere in grocery stores, but knowing that that person who stocks the groceries in the bag doesn't just throw them in there and says, who cares? You needed the groceries in a bag. There, I did it for you. But takes good care, knowing that we provide a great service in the food industry for people, and making sure you're continuing to think that way. So everybody believes in it, whether you're just a bagger or you're the manager of the grocery store. Everybody's going to do everything they can to make sure that that food is great quality, is not damaged. So when they go back, they can have that great experience.
Amazing. Okay, so following up on our point, as it relates to the purpose, in the book, it also shares that when you're creating this magical purpose for your company, you should get as many people involved in developing the statement: the owners, the managers, the supervisors, the front team, the back office team. Don't be afraid to also get feedback from your loyal customers. Ask each other why it's important. Make it clear, short, and easy. Make it emotional. Make it visible and memorable. Reward and recognize people when it's carried out, and post those accomplishments everywhere and discuss them at meetings, and also celebrate successes and have fun. Why do you think it's important to do all these things just to create the magic in the purpose?
Well, again, your purpose statement is got to be an emotional connection between staff, the managers, and the people that have to carry it out, and of course the organization. And many companies, like I share, they kind of lose sight of the why, and they focus on all the other things and what and where. And what I've seen in many businesses, small or large, is that the CEO and the presidents and the executive team and the board of directors and maybe even the HR folks, they're the ones that create the purpose statement. And then all of a sudden, it gets introduced to the entire organization and says, by the way, this is what you're going to do now. And the staff sitting there going, well, what was wrong with the other one that we had? Or I'm so busy, now there's more things you want me to do. So if you get everybody involved, you create the buy-in. You get everybody's opportunity to express their own thoughts of why they do what they do. And it doesn't mean everybody is going to have a perfect answer to all of it, but at least people have ownership and then a buy-in that I'll do it because I had a part of it. When it's just top down, it just becomes another thing. And the interesting thing about a purpose statement, Unique, is that you're never, ever going to achieve it. So it's not something that, okay, we did it, now what else is next? Your purpose statement has to be something that you're always going to be striving every single day, day in, week in, month out, year out, 10, 15 years from now. It's not something you change because you're always striving to achieve it. So let me use an example of Disney making people happy. So every single cast member at Disney, and there's 75,000 of them that work at the Disney World Resort in Orlando, Florida alone, every single one of them know that today, when I wake up, before I go to work, I got to say to myself, man, today I'm going to make someone happy. And they're always striving to do that. Well, guess what? Tomorrow's another day. I got to make someone happy again. And then there are people that have been at Disney for the first time, got to make them happy. And there are people that have been at Disney 50 times, got to make them happy too. And you got to make kids happy. You got to make adults happy. You got to make seniors happy. You got to make each other happy. So it never ends. You're always striving to reach that. And so when you get everybody excited about it, that's why I want you to post things. I want you to talk about it. I want you to reward and recognize people, because then becomes a living thing, not something that the flavor of the month, or we have a new HR director, or we have a new CEO. That's what their idea of what the vision of the company is. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does. It makes a lot of sense. It really does tie things in together. Now, to dovetail off of ensuring that you're striving to do it every day, it's also important to ensure you have the right people, right?
That's correct.
And so, one of the things that I've found over the years as a customer service trainer is I think a lot of the customer service issues in organizations, apart from the fact that it's highly driven by leadership, I do think that who you recruit and if you're getting the right person, to suit that particular role is very important. And one of the things that really struck me in your book was one of your suggestions is to get out of your office to interview. And in it, you give mention to the fact that you should walk the person around, see how they interact with fellow employees and customers. Do they have eye contact? Do they open up doors? Are they willing to stick their hand out and say, hi, my name is Susie. I'm applying for a job here. Do they pick up pieces of paper? Do they have energy and enthusiasm? So basically you're saying on the first job interview, this is some of the strategies that you should employ instead of keeping them in an office and asking them the same, monotone questions over and over.
That's correct. What you're trying to do, trying to see, are they a good fit? And the best way to see it is to see it, actually watch it in action, rather than when we interview people in an office, we say things like, are you energetic? Are you a people person? Do you like working with others? Do you have a lot of enthusiasm and energy? And what are the typical responses? Yes, 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 right? Mm-hmm. So by walking around, we actually get to observe them and see, are they? And I always have this great saying that during an interview, that's the best the person is ever going to be, is during an interview. It goes downhill after that, okay? So if they're not enthusiastic, if they're not helpful, if they're not friendly, if they're not showing you eye contact, if they're not enthusiastic about the possibility of working for you during that interview, you don't think it's going to happen once you hire them, do you? Of course not. So what I try to do is get people out. And I get some organizations are really small. There's not any place to go, right? Maybe a little small office cubicle that they're working in. But then get them outside. Take them to a coffee shop or something like that. Again, now, if you want somebody to punch numbers in a computer and sit in the back office and not talk to anybody, all right, maybe that's not exactly necessary. I get it. But in the customer service world that you and I live in, where It's all about creating those experiences. You cannot hire somebody, them to change into your culture if you didn't see it during the hiring process. I share a funny story. In my hotels, I used to get my front desk staff involved in the interviewing process. And so whenever I was hiring a front desk person or a concierge guest services person, I would walk them around the hotel and do all the things you just suggested, kind of see how they react. And I would take them to the front desk of the hotel on the other side of the desk, not on the guest side, but I would take them on the side that the workers are. And I would all of a sudden say, "Ooh, wait a minute. I have to get this question answered. I'll be right back." And I would leave them with my front desk clerks. And now my front desk clerks would be, "Hey, how are you? You looking to work here? What are you doing now?" They would go through a little mini interview. But what was interesting about it is I got feedback from them. Many of them said, "Oh, this girl, Susie, she's awesome. We really like her." Or other times they would say, "I don't know. George has a personality of a dead fish. I don't think he's going to work," right? And so I would get feedback from my own team, which guess what it created? One, it was great because I got a great perspective, but then they had ownership in who we were hiring. And they had ownership of what they felt was a good fit. And it was remarkable when you can do those sort of things because now you're really seeing the person's true colors during that interview.
Agreed. That really sounds good. We spoke about, some of the awesome tools and strategies that you've, garnered over the years in all of the experiences that you've had. Now I'd like you to share with us a little bit more about some of the resources that you use to help you be successful. So is there an online resource, tool, website, or app that you absolutely cannot live without in your business?
Oh, wow. A lot of it is what I'm a sponge. So I am constantly learning, growing from that perspective. So I'm a voracious book reader. I'll listen to podcasts. I'll go explore the internet on webinars and things because I'm always striving to get better. And I might not learn from everything that they say, but I'm just looking for one or two great ideas that I can incorporate, that I could share, that I could fine tune to tailor it to maybe a client of mine that I'm working with or an upcoming speaking engagement. So there have been some great mentors in my life that I say were there physically with me. These are mentors that were my bosses or people that would help me along the way. But there was also a lot of authors and people like Stephen Covey was probably one of the most original first person to affect me when I would listen to his CDs in the car or I would read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People or The 8th Habit. And I would so he kind of molded me through my career. People like Jack Canfield, who wrote all the chicken soup books, has a great book, The Success Principles. And I would highly recommend that to help you through it. I was a big Zig Ziglar fan, and Zig Ziglar was the best motivator because he made me laugh and on the things that he would talk about. And I would say, gosh, that was so funny, but boy, it had such great merit. There's John Maxwell is another one. But I've always thought that through networking, through masterminds, through attending conferences, again, you can pick up a lot of gold nuggets from people that you wouldn't think were very knowledgeable or maybe you thought they weren't the top, but they would just tell you some really good things. And I have a lot of respect for people like you and others who are there sharing your ideas. And so I'm a big sponge, getting it from a lot of different resources, not just one.
Very good. Okay, so you actually answered my follow-up question, which is, some of the books that have had the biggest impact on you. So you mentioned Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and The 8th Habit. You mentioned Jack Canfield, the Success Principles. You mentioned Zig Ziglar, and you also mentioned John Maxwell, who's an awesome leadership guru and coach, has many, many books on different types and styles of leadership. So we'll have all of those in the show notes of this episode, so you can have them as resource materials to develop yourself and your team in your business. Now, John, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners and managers who feel they have great products and services, but sometimes they lack the constantly motivated human capital. The people are just not motivated. Now, if you are sitting across the table from that person, that business owner, that manager, that CEO, what's the one piece of advice that you would give them to have a successful business?
Well, as it relates to motivating people, the first thing I would tell them is to stop motivating people. Stop trying to motivate them. I would look them in the eye and I would say, your heart is in the right place, but you cannot, I don't care who you are, you can't motivate anybody. The key is to help create an environment where they'll motivate themselves. And what I mean by that, Unique, is this. Leaders always, and I get people all the time come up to me, how do I motivate my staff? How do I get my people to be so excited like you? You know, I wish I had 10 people like you in my office. How do I get people excited? Well, the key is that's really hard to do. But what we have to look at, whether you're a manager or a business owner, is instead of trying to figure out ways to motivate people, I want you to think of reverse strategy and try to figure out making sure there's nothing going on that is demotivating my people. Because when you demotivate your staff, that's when people start to go in the wrong direction. And there are so many things that can demotivate a staff member. And everybody is demotivated differently. One person might say, wow, that's not a big deal. Another person might say, that was the toughest thing I've ever heard, and I don't want to work for you anymore. And you'd go, what's the big deal? Everybody is motivated differently, and everybody is demotivated differently. I'll give you a perfect example. Growing up in my career, I was and I don't claim this was a good thing by any means, but to me, it was me. I was a go-getter. I wanted to be general manager that Hyatt Hotels ever had. And I was driven by trying to do that. Now, what I meant by that was I didn't want anybody to hand it to me. I wanted to earn it. But to earn it, I went to every single Hyatt hotel that I worked at, and I would speak to their top managers and say, what do I need to learn? What could you do to teach me so that I can be better prepared on my journey to become a general manager? And that's what drove me. So when I had opportunities to learn, when I had a mentor that would sit down once a week, we'd have lunch together, and that mentor would share the good and the bad and the ugly about John Formica to make John Formica better. Those are the things, and sent me to seminars or suggested books to read. To me, that manager motivated me because knew that that's what I wanted. And I also worked for organizations where managers have said, you don't need that. We don't send you to training. We don't send you to seminars and those sort of things. You don't need any of that kind of stuff. That means they didn't give me an opportunity to learn and grow. That was demotivating. Now, you can bring balloons on my birthday. You can give me oatmeal and raisin cookies every day. You could send me home early. You can do all those. You can give me Starbucks coupons for free coffee. You can do all those things. That's good. The intentions are good, but that doesn't motivate me. What motivated me is the ability to learn and grow. And what demotivated me the most when I had leaders that didn't care about any of that stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, especially if you know what specifically you're looking for as an individual. So you knew what your personal purpose was, which kind of dovetails back into what we know when we started the interview, the purpose statement that should drive the employee. But even as an individual, you knew what drew you as a person. And so you're looking for characteristics and character traits of leaders that would be able to basically mold and drive that purpose for yourself. True?
True, very true. And as a manager and a business owner, the best way to find out what demotivates or is demotivating your staff is not look at it as a general statement, but it's a one-on-one. Mm-hmm. So I used to always have one-on-ones with every single one of my direct reports. And we just talked about the good, the bad, the ugly. What is it that you like what I'm doing? What is it that you want me to stop doing? And what is it that you want me to continue doing? And we talked about it. And I sometimes I got some brutal, honest input from a coworker that said, John, you're trying to micromanage us. We can do it, or I can do it. And I would say, but you haven't shown me. Every time I've asked you to do it and I've let you go, you didn't take it seriously enough, or you didn't follow up. But that was good. It made me think, okay, am I micromanaging? And maybe I shouldn't micromanage. So then micromanaging was a demotivating thing for this particular staff member. Or maybe I didn't appreciate them. Maybe I thought I said thank you, but I really didn't say thank you one-on-one. I kind of thanked the whole team, So again, I got to find out one-on-one what motivates and what demotivates individuals. I love this statement, and I know you're very familiar with it. There's no I in team, right? You've heard that before?
Definitely.
But guess what? Teams are made up of a bunch of I's, individuals. Mm-hmm. So we got to take care of individuals as well, not just looking at it from a team perspective.
True. Very true. I guess you just changed the perspective, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's the one thing that's going on in your life right now that you're really excited about? Either something that you're working on to develop yourself or your people?
Yeah, I'm really fired up about a new coaching program that I developed in partnering with a partner in Australia. I get a lot of people. I'll speak at events, and then people ask me to come to that event, training, whether it's leadership or helping to create a better experience or hiring, all those sort of things. And I love to do that, but we know that not everybody has the resources, whether it's financially or time, to do that. So we put together, and it's not finished yet, but we put together a great sort of online coaching program where you'll be able to get like 12 webinars once a month. You're going to get unlimited access to both myself and my partner to help you not only market, to attract customers, that you'll have more customers than you can ever dream of, but then I'm going to help you keep the ones you have. And so it's a great combination because it's going to be able to help the ma and pa business owner. And those are the ones that we all know need a lot of help. We want them to be successful. They don't have a lot of resources. They may not even have a lot of knowledge. They're jumping into their business with good faith, hoping that it'll work. Well, I want to do everything I can to help them work. So I'm really fired up about that. But I'm also doing a lot of international work as well. I shared with you earlier that I just got back from Romania, helping their small businesses at an incredible global summit. So I think my messages can be used in lots of different organizations, and I just want to do whatever I can to help.
Amazing. That's wonderful. So when the coaching program becomes available online in another couple of weeks or months, could you tell our listeners where they can find you online to continue conversation with you, or if they want to bring you to their own countries, or if they even want to just engage through this online coaching program?
Yeah, well, the website details are not totally finished yet, so I don't have that. I'm going to recommend this. If any of your listeners go to johnformica.com, OHNFORCA.com, and sign up for get my new training videos for free. You'll download them. It's just my way of giving back. They're only about 8 minutes long, but it's a good understanding of the philosophy of what we talk about. But here's the neat thing is every week you're going to get a newsletter, which is basically a tip to help you create more magic in your business. And it could be a leadership tip. It could be a relationship. It could be hiring. It could be the customer experience. And it's a great way of staying in touch with me. And you'll have all the contact information as well. But you'll also have access to my library of other articles that I've posted, over 100 articles that you'll be able to use. But that's a great way of becoming part of my membership, free. It doesn't cost anything. But then you'll get access when we're ready to roll that out. We will send everybody that information. So if it's something of interest, it's going to be extremely affordable, and you'll be able to use that. So I suggest that's probably the best way to be in contact. All my contact information is on this, or if they want to reach out to me for a speaking event or perhaps helping their team, they can just go to my contact page and we can start that process. But I do a lot of free discovery calls just to see if I'm a good fit and see what we can do to do anything we can to help you out.
That sounds fabulous. So just to repeat, it's John, John, Formica, Formica.com. And they can reach out to you through that medium, and you'll be able to connect with them to provide them with further information, correct?
That's correct.
All right.
You'll get my free videos, and you'll get a newsletter, what I call the Magic Minute. It'll take less than 30 seconds to read, and it'll take their business to a whole nother level.
Great. All right. So before we wrap the interview up, we always like to ask our guests if there's one quote or saying that during times of adversity or challenge, you tend to revert to this quote because it helps to refocus you and keep you on the path. Do you have one of those?
Yeah. I probably have a couple of them. There's one that really it's a Zig Ziglar quote, and I think this is just a great quote in life as well as in business. And he said, I'm sure you've heard it, help enough people get what they want, what you want. And in leadership, help your staff achieve the success you want. And of course, as a leader, you'll success that you want in your career or in business. And I think if we just treat people like that, and we do whatever we can as givers and serve others, and even just making someone smile today, that might not be a big deal, but it could be a big deal to them. It'll come around and help you. Don't worry about the results. Don't worry about, we all want things instantaneously. We want to be successful right now. It's a journey, but it's a great journey that I think if you're a giver like us, Yannick, it's something that we get the reward and satisfaction seeing it all come about, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does indeed. Amazing. So this has been a wonderful interview. Thank you so much, John, for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know, as you said, you just returned from international travel. We really appreciate all of the wonderful and special nuggets that you shared with us today, especially the importance of having a purpose, a why for what you're doing so that it will drive you emotionally and, you'll get up every morning and that will be your mantra in life and your desire in life to continue doing the things that you're doing to achieve your goals, whether it be on a business level or a personal level. Now, for those of you that are listening that would like to follow us on Twitter, please feel free to head on over to Twitter. Our handle is NavigatingCX, and feel free to join in our free Facebook group, Navigating the Customer Experience Community, where like-minded people get the opportunity to share their stories, any articles, and of course, we'll also make you aware of any new podcast episodes that have come about. So again, thank you, John.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure and honor. Keep doing the great things that you do, not only in the beautiful country of Jamaica, but around the world. You're an asset. You're a giver, and it shows. When I met you, I knew it right from the start. And so keep going out there. And just my last statement is, whatever you do, always make it magical.
Amazing. Thank you again. Until next time, I'm your host, Yannick Grant. We really appreciate your support of this podcast. Are you ready to grow your business even more? Or improve your leadership skills? Or train your team members in the art of customer service? Give us a call at 305-848-0815 or visit our website at www.yannickgrant.com. That's YANNIQUEGRANT.com. Remember, 305-848-0815 or visit our website at yannickgrant.com. Our new online course, Mastering Customer Experience and Increasing Your Revenue, is now available. The link for this will be on the show notes of each episode starting September 7, 2016. The first 2 modules are free, so hop on over, have a look, and take the steps to increase your revenue.
Thanks for listening. For more awesome resources to take your customer service game to another level, head over to navigatingthecustomerexperience.com. See you next time.